Hey everyone, Random Randy here. This is Vlogust for August 31st, so this is the last one. Yay! Hi kitty. No, I don't want you in my lap right now, buddy. So this is going to be pretty short, just a few little things. Today's been a pretty decent day. Took the kids out for lunch and they got some really awesome shakes from Starbucks, which is somewhere that I never go, and their two shakes from Starbucks cost nearly as much as our entire meal did. So it's not something that we'll be doing with any sort of regularity or frequency, which I told them before we got there. I was like, now, these drinks will be very, very tasty. However, these drinks are also very, very expensive, so don't be expecting this to happen more than maybe once a month. They were like, okay, mommy, because we got food at McDonald's, which I do usually like bi-weekly. Every other week we usually go out and get fast food for lunch because it's an excuse to get out of the house, and I think that twice a month won't shorten the life expectancy of my children or myself. So aside from that, not really a lot going on today, just kind of relaxed around the house and crocheting stuff and plotting stuff to crochet all day. I am working on dishcloths. I'm going to be making sets of 4 that'll be Halloween-ish / autumn themed. Gonna be 2 orange ones. These are, as you can see, huge. They're about 8 inches square, and these ones are black with a silver glitter thread running through it. Now this is a cotton polyester blend, and that means that it will last longer. It won't fuzz out as quickly as regular cotton does, and the colors will stay vibrant for longer than if it were just straight cotton. So I'm going to be making a set of 4 of those. I'm probably going to just start going on a dishcloth making spree, hoping to get more stuff up in my shop. And that is a perfect lead-in to the fact that there is a site-wide Labor Day sale on Etsy. If you go on Etsy, there's even a special bar across the top. You can just browse through things that are on sale. Or you can find lots and lots of Etsy sellers who have sales going on in their shops. Personally, I have, 25% off all of my ready-to-ship items. That's 25% off each item, not 25% off your entire purchase. So it's really just me wanting to clear out inventory that I've been sitting on, to make space for new things, to clear out some of the clutter from my life. There are lots of hats, there are some crop tops, I think I have a headscarf on there even. I'm not even sure what all's in there, I don't even remember. But there are some good things in there that are for sale. If you're in the US, domestic priority shipping is free, and since it's all ready to ship, it could be in the mail in the next day or 2 and be on its way to you. So, if anybody is interested in buying any of the things, I will leave the link to my shop, as always, in the description down below. And don't forget to check out all of the other awesome things that are on sale. My sale will be lasting from today until, I believe I said, the 8th of September. So you've got a few days, but I don't have a ton of ready-made things, so what's there is there, and once it's gone, I can replicate it, but it'll take me a little bit of time to do so. So if you're interested, make sure to check that out. And aside from that, now that the crafty stuff is out of the way for now, I was hoping to do a yarn talk today, but Killian didn't nap, and I'm really, really tired today. I don't know if it's because we ate fast food, but I've been fighting not to fall asleep for like the last hour. It's horrible. I thought I'd get to lay down and close my eyes for a few minutes, and I did. Had just closed my eyes and was drifting off to sleep, and Killian came in from the backyard and stood next to me, and it was apparent just from what I could pick up with my nose that he needed tending to. So I was like, well, it looks like Mommy's not going to be taking a nap today. So I'm just working on these dishcloths, and I got a whole other row of granny squares attached to my patriotic Afghan last night. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw that already. But aside from crafty stuff, I also wanted to talk a little bit about a life thing that's kind of been rankling at me for the past week or so, and I just kind of wanted to get it off my chest. So I'm going to do that. So if you were only here to see some nifty crafty stuff and you don't want to hear me complain about women in general and why I tend to not really befriend them, then you probably don't want to watch this part. So thanks for watching this far, and I will catch you in another day or two for my craft room organization video and eventually a yarn talk. So probably this weekend, both of those will be coming up. Anyway, so a few days ago, before Hunter actually had his crazy amount of dental surgery, on Facebook, if you're on my personal Facebook, I only think a few of you are, but I had asked if anyone had any good recipes that they had lucked out with for guaranteed eats with picky kids. Because, as you know, most toddlers, even though sometimes they eat like a horse, sometimes they go through a phase where it seems like you've got 2 foods you can feed them and that's it. Well, I personally get tired of eating the same thing all the time, so I asked people if they had any recipe recommendations. And that led to one of my friend's uncles replying with, just put sugar on it. Can't delete anything if you put sugar on it. So, you know, it was said in jest and it was funny, so I laughed about it and I said, well, unfortunately, Hunter has a lot of dental work that he has to have done because his teeth are really, really bad, so we're trying to, you know, minimize refined sugars and minimize grains and anything that could possibly have hidden sugar in it. So he asked, you know, how much work he needed done, and I told him about the crowns and the root canals and everything, and he put in his oldster 2-cent wisdom, which I honestly agree with, which was, well, he's almost 5, right? Aren't those teeth going to be falling out soon anyway? And I said, well, yeah, he's actually got 2 that are loose already. He said, so doesn't it make more sense to just wait until his baby teeth fall out? Because, you know, any dental work you get done to them, such as fillings or crowns, they're just gonna fall out anyhow. And I said, yeah, I agree with that. We've been rolled for our insurance money before, and I wish that my husband would have consulted with me before putting a down payment on the work, so we could have at least gotten a second opinion. And a woman who lives near me, who I had thought was a friend, but we haven't really talked a lot lately, primarily because a few months ago she got a job working evenings/nights, and that's cool. I don't really understand how you can be a stay-at-home parent and work nights when your spouse goes to work early in the morning when your spouse is military, but they seem to have found a way to make it work, so that's cool. And we just haven't really talked much because she's been working, and if she's working nights, I'm assuming that there's part of the day where she's sleeping, so I don't want to disturb her, you know, trying to be a polite person and all. And she hasn't really spoken with me in months, but she had to chime in with repeated scientific evidence about the state of baby teeth and, oh, well, you should really, you know, she was pretty much just arguing with my friend's uncle. I'm like, okay, whatever. And my husband, that same evening, my husband, for the record, doesn't have an active Facebook anymore. It's just he chose not to go with social media because he realized that it was pretty much eating his life and making him detached from us. So he chose not to do it anymore, which was pretty much good for all of us, and that's great. So my husband took the kids to the playground, and I hung here and did dishes and just got a little time to relax and breathe without the kids crawled right up my butt, as you know toddlers do. And she took it upon herself to, for the first time in forever, actually take her kids to the playground, which usually they're home in the evening, but for whatever reason they don't usually bring their kids over to the playground, even though their house is right next to it. If I lived on that side of the street, my kids would live at the playground all the time. As it is, we still usually take them over there every night, if not every other night. Anyway, so she took it upon herself to show my husband the reply thread, not the whole actual thread of what I had been saying. And at no point did I say that I was not going to get my son dental treatment. I had expressed my displeasure with the fact that my husband had paid up front without consulting me about it and hadn't bothered to think of getting a second opinion, which I think is understandable and reasonable. And she showed it to him, and he came home practically in a fury, talking about how I was neglecting our children and this, that, and the other thing, and just going on and on and on. And this woman knows that my husband and I don't completely see eye to eye on a lot of things. Me preferring to attempt natural treatment of things as opposed to relying 100% on doctors as if they are God, being one of them. And the fact that she felt the need to do that, to speak to my husband, but not to me. If she had said to me, like if she had expressed her concerns to me in a message, or she has my phone number, she could have texted me, that would have been one thing. But for her to take it upon herself to think that my children's health and well-being is any of her damn business, much less something that she should start a fight between my husband and myself over, no. So needless to say, without a word, I just blocked and unfriended her, so now she can't see anything that I post. And it's unfortunate because her kids and my kids are the same age, and her house is literally right over behind ours. So it's a little bit awkward, but needless to say, I'm really upset and I feel betrayed. I feel like it's really difficult for me to trust people in the first place, and to have somebody do that, it's just not okay. And I don't feel like it even warrants a discussion on my part. That's just all there is to it. I'm done. Like, you want to try and start crap with my husband and me? And something that's really not even your business, and something that was casually being discussed in a completely, well, not completely, but an off-topic, partially related thread. It wasn't even what I said. I didn't go on there and say, hey, does anybody know natural ways to cure holes in teeth? Because I'm so hippie, I never want to take my kids to the dentist. There was none of that. It's just really frustrating to me. And on top of that, Pyramid Scheme Lady, I didn't respond to her rah motivational texts for a few days, and she said, maybe this isn't the right time for this opportunity. You can return the book whenever you want, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, all right, I'm just going to mail it to you with a snarky little note that says, hey, I was under the stupid impression that maybe you were seeking a friendship, not a business opportunity. Maybe you should stop preying on vulnerable people. Hey, thanks. Like, don't get me wrong. If you say to somebody outright, hey, I want to talk to you about a business opportunity, not, hey, do you want to get coffee sometime? I'm really, really sick of everyone trying to sell something. I understand people want to make money. People need to make money, let's be perfectly honest. You need to make money to live. But if you're going to try and sell something to somebody, at least be upfront about it. Don't go all backdoor. Don't say, oh, well, I lured you here under the pretense of conversation so I could try to get you to join my team. Yeah, no. Go stick it where the sun doesn't shine. Have a nice life. I'm so over trying to make friends as an adult. It pisses me off. It's not cool. Like, I thought that this outcast not fitting in thing would fade once high school was over. No. Apparently it'll always be there. I'm just over it. Yeah. So that means that my kids have less people to hang out with than they usually do. Because this woman in particular apparently likes to gossip too, so I'm sure that the other moms on this block, who I was at least acquaintances with, have heard horrible, terrible things about me. So that's super, super fun. Even though all of the incriminating things that she's told me about herself, I have kept to myself because that's just the kind of person that I am. And I don't feel that being backstabbing is going to get me anything aside from more trouble than it's worth. So I've pretty much resigned myself to the fact that as long as we're here, and as long as we're anywhere that's not near my family or pre-built friend base from the people that I've known since I was like 5 when I started kindergarten and went through one school district my entire kindergarten through end of high school career, there's no point in trying to make friends out in the real world. I know that sounds ridiculous. I remember when the internet, when I was a preteen, was something that our parents were warning us about because everybody on the internet is just a bunch of sickos looking to prey on kids. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure that there are still plenty of those, and unfortunately, vulnerable and uneducated children who will likely have issues with those sickos. However, there are a lot of real people on the internet. There are a lot of people who are very introverted, who have trouble making connections with people in real life because you obviously can't sincerely trust people. Even when you meet them face to face, which is horrible because you'd think, you know, standing eye to eye with somebody, you'd be able to get a pretty good measure of their character. Apparently my character judgment is broken since having children and becoming a recluse. But I feel like I have made more meaningful connections with some of the people that I have met through making this YouTube channel than I have been able to make physically in real life in the past several years, and that is both amazing and frustrating. I'm sure some of you understand. So I guess that's really all I have to babble about for today. This is a lot longer than I was expecting it to be. I'm sorry, everybody. I just really had to get that out. So anyway, I'm gonna cut this here and work on getting it edited and keep in a way. Hopefully I'll be able to finish at least this washcloth, maybe a third one tonight. We'll see. Kind of getting the urge to do some amigurumi, so I'm not sure. Because after doing all those granny squares the last couple of days, I think I'm grannied out for a few. So if you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much for sticking around. I hope you have an awesome weekend, and I will catch all of you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and sticking around through all of this Vlogust madness. Bye.